I got what you guys came here for, the answers to universe mode. Now, I'm gonna be dropping another video straight from the source, Crystal, the developer of universe mode, the head honcho of that mode. Make sure to stay tuned for that, but I'm here to give you my raw thoughts first. I'm here to show y'all what I seen, how I feel. Let's go on ahead and get into it. But before we do, shout out to the 2K team and all the developers that were sitting there chatting with me, because y'all genuinely made me feel just like y'all cared. You guys like, comment, and subscribe if you guys do enjoy the content. So universe mode, right? This is the big elephant in the room. We have not gotten much news on it for weeks. We were getting news about everything else but universe mode, and man, I am so glad that I'm able to break this down to y'all and just break the news to those who didn't know much about universe mode. Now, there were a lot of things in here that when I first jumped into mode, I was like, man, what the hell happened? Because it looked very similar to 2K24, but once I sat down and I started actually going through the mode piece by piece, I definitely noticed a couple quality of life changes, and there were definitely some big changes in here, especially with the calendar. It looked like they really made that a mission this year to make the calendar feel much more important, much more different, much more customizable. And I'm just happy that I can say that universe mode did get some really, really good upgrades. Now, let's start off with the obvious, right? The promos. Promos, for me, brought me down just a little bit once I saw that there was no dialogue, but once I realized that the commentary, they were moving and talking about, hey, this is what's going on, and kind of just dragging you through what the wrestler was sort of saying. That was cool. Now you have branching features where it comes out in the bottom, you get like 2 or 3 options, and you're able to say, hey, this is what I want. Like CM Punk came out, confronted Jey Uso, and then the game went ahead and said, all right, let's do it right now. And then the match started again, and the referee just hopped in the ring. Really cool stuff. Another nice touch was that with the promos, once the wrestler is done doing a promo, as soon as they're leaving the ring, their music comes on. Super cool stuff as well. And there were certain promos where their entrance attire came in, like Jey Uso. I had a promo with him where he came in like he was ready for a match, because it was a promo getting him ready for the match. And then there was another promo where it was sort of like a self-promotion promo, and then Jey Uso came out with his shirt, his entrance attire. Again, super cool stuff. Now, one thing that I have to knock about, you know, the promos is the fact that if you're a champion, they don't come out with their championship belt. Now, I feel like that's extremely important in this game, because whenever somebody does a promo in real life, we see them with the championship. And I didn't get to mention that to the developers, but there were just certain things with the promos that I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing here. Some people may not be happy about it, some might. Me personally, I'm just happy to see it in general. And another thing is, these promos don't take up an additional slot in your match card. You just put in a match, and then you're able to just choose it in one of the cutscenes. I did bring up, I want to see contract signings, I want to see different things, just like Story Designer once had for us. And Story Designer, I don't know when it's coming, but it is on their radar, so I guess that is a cool thing to really see. And Brian Williams did say that in one of the interviews a week or 2 ago, where he mentioned, hey, yes, you know, this is something that we are thinking about. We don't know how close we are yet, but it is coming at some point. We just don't know the year. So again, just something to keep in mind. Universe mode seems like it's going to be here to keep us occupied. They went ahead and also gave us the King and Queen of the Ring tournament in universe mode, and the best part about it is that the winners actually go to SummerSlam and face the champions, just like real life. So I am excited about that, because that's something that's kind of Royal Rumble, WrestleMania-esque in the universe mode, and it actually works pretty well, as I was able to go in the game and actually try it myself. So I am excited about this feature, and just, you know, seeing what's in store for us with something like this. And one thing that I definitely want to break down is the cash-ins. Now, cash-ins definitely got a nice upgrade. Now, you still can't cash in a PLEs, which I'm going to get into in just a moment. Just going on ahead and seeing, you know, failed cash-ins, attempted cash-in, really, really cool stuff. Like, there was a cutscene, as you guys see here in the video, that it looked like Sami Zayn was about to cash in. Karrion Kross just lost to Drew McIntyre, and you seen Karrion Kross kind of pull Sami out. Really cool stuff, because this is stuff that we usually see with the Money in the Bank, where they're teasing, hey, I'm gonna cash in, somebody comes out and beats them up, and the cash in just doesn't happen at the time. Really, really cool stuff with the cutscenes. I didn't see many more new cutscenes, if I'm being honest. I saw some additions. I can't just remember off the top of my head. We get a limited time with the game, and I'm trying to cover as much as possible. So again, we'll know very soon. But I can tell you guys right now, cash-ins definitely got a much needed upgrade in the game, and especially just more cutscenes and more features to really cover there. Now, one thing that I did bring up to the developer was PLE cutscenes, and that to me is one of my negatives, right? And I'm gonna get back into the positives, but I don't want to forget this because I've mentioned it so many times. PLE cutscenes is something that's extremely important. We still can't cash in at a PLE, and Damian Priest has had one of his biggest heists of his career, cashing in at a PLE WrestleMania versus Drew McIntyre. We had Seth Rollins do the heist of the century on Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, and this is something that we were able to do at one point. And I did speak to them about, you know, a pause menu, being able to, you know, just select the cash in button on the pause menu, and they honestly told me, man, it was inconsistent when they were doing it back in 2K19, which is very true. Sometimes I pressed it and it never happened. So I think that they got away from that because it wasn't working the way it's supposed to, and now we're kind of, you know, looking at, you know, hopefully implementing it in the next iteration or so. But again, this is something that I did mention. Hey, I'm not happy about this, and I'm sure that they're listening, you know. And honestly, again, you guys are gonna see I mentioned this in another video, but I'm just thankful to the developers for even giving me the opportunity to really speak to them and for them to even care about my opinion, because I know that I try to be a voice for a lot of you guys, especially my universe mode people. You know, I can only speak for, you know, what I know, and obviously I play the game all the time, but universe mode is something I'm really passionate about, you know, and playing in this game. And I just wanted them to just kind of hear our thoughts, and, you know, I try to get that out there as much as possible. Obviously, everything is not going to be perfect, but PLE cutscenes is definitely something that we definitely need to see, you know, hopefully in the next iteration of the game. That's one of my negatives. Right now, hopping right back into the positives, you know, just going back into the calendar, you're now able to have up to 3 shows on one day, which is huge. You can do Monday Night Nitro, you can do Monday Night Raw, you can just do Monday Night Wars on Mondays, and these shows will carry their own storylines. It does not matter. They're still their own shows, but they will be on the same day, which is freaking amazing. And this was something that now with this upgrade that I never thought they would do, nor did I care for at the time, this is freaking amazing. Like, you guys are gonna love that feature in my opinion. I think that's something that, again, not a lot of us thought that we needed, but it's something that I think we actually needed, and I'm super excited that they introduced that into the game. And one other thing now, if you have 4 weeks of a show, you know how, for example, NXT sometimes has a big show, you know, that's considered maybe even a PLE type level show just on regular TV. We can now delete one of the weeks of that show and plug that in there, and it's just a regular show, but it's treated like a PLE. You can now do that in universe mode, and it'll stick the same show. You're just able to delete a week and get that done. And now there are 2-day events, and I know a lot of us wanted that, and it's really, really cool because now we see King of the Ring, right? We can actually go in there and we can switch the order. If we want King of the Ring to go first before Queen of the Ring, we could just swap that. Again, lots of quality of life changes, right? Not the bigger changes that you guys absolutely wanted, but quality of life is something that I'm all for, especially in a mode where it seemed like it was completely dead and not receiving the upgrades that it really needed. Now, let's go on ahead and get into tag teams. Tag teams is something that has really gotten an upgrade in universe mode that I am extremely happy about, because last year we're not able to do the Usos and the Bloodline. We had to either do the Bloodline or the Usos and then put their tag team motion. No, that's over this year. Now you can actually go on ahead and do full tag teams and then also do a sub tag team. So for example, the Kabuki Warriors, now you can put them right there under Damage Control. You can do the stuff with NWO, like just the freedom and customization I've always talked about. No matter the flaws and things like that, I feel like this is one of the bigger sandbox modes in WWE 2K games in general, with universe mode, where you can put your own show and put your own championships and do this and do that. They're giving us more freedom to be able to work with stuff like that. It's gotten a lot of well-needed quality of life upgrades that I think will improve our experience in universe mode, and that's just my thoughts. I'm honestly cannot wait to get my hands back on universe mode, because I wasn't really able to even get into my own shows or anything like that. But again, really cool stuff. Now, when we go to edit shows, you can now reassign everybody at the same time. If you want to remove everybody off a roster, you don't have to do it one by one no more. You go on ahead and do it at the same time. You can go and just press the click of the D-pad to the right. You'll move on to the next show and you can reassign them to that show. Quality of life changes. Universe mode is a mode to me that I thought was dead, but it definitely received a lot of well-needed upgrades. I know you guys wanted answers, and again, I have answers coming for you. I have Christo, the Wwe 2K25 Universe Mode developer. I have a whole interview with him that's going to drop later today. This is all really, really cool stuff. I genuinely enjoyed the little bit that I have with the mode. The UI was much better. And just to give y'all one more negative so you guys are not surprised, rivalries are still the same. 1-on-1, 2-on-2. I did let them know, hey, I am not happy about this, and hopefully it's something that could be worked on in a future iteration. When it comes down to certain things, they just couldn't get it in, but the rivalries are now a little bit more just updated. And he does mention that in the interview. I'm not going to break it down here. You guys go and watch that soon. Another one of my negatives where I'm like, man, yeah, you know, I'm kind of let down by this. It is a negative to me that we were not able to do triple threat or faction rivalries. And hopefully we'll see what they can do for that in the future. But again, this is what we're left with at the moment. So I think universe mode is cool. A lot more longevity I think was brought to the mode, especially with the calendar. I feel like that plays a big role. We just really need to see if a lot of these bugs are smoothened out. A lot of these glitches, issues are kind of just better for the game, right? That's one of my bigger concerns aside from what they've added. You can add all this cool stuff, but if the mode still doesn't work as expected, then the problem still lies. We'll have to see what happens with universe mode, man. Really excited to get my hands on this game, and I was super excited to tell you guys about it. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys did enjoy this video, this was the more detailed breakdown that I could give you guys. If you guys like universe mode, I think you guys will like this game. It's up to you to realize, are these upgrades worth your money or are these upgrades not? So I'm just here to give you guys the news, and you guys can make your decision. I'm gonna catch y'all. Peace.